Australia's leading sports organisations have made a pledge to tackle youth binge drinking.
Now when you're watching your favourite sports, like football,
swimming, basketball,
netball
and athletics,
you'll see this logo.
It's all about coming together to have a positive influence on our drinking culture.
We're strong enough to say enough.
and you can be too.
Back your judgment.
Stand up for what you believe in.
Be the influence.
At The Greater, we're always on your side. We've got this winning lineup of products and services ready to get you over the line. To kick goals for your finances, contact The Greater. Proudly supporting Newcastle and Hunter Rugby Union.
Here's your story, let's begin. The water's fine, come on, dive in. The future's here, it's right before your eyes. Step by step, you're on your way. Welcome to a brighter day. Don't you know it feels good to be alive? You could be larger than life, bigger than the world, living out the hopes and dreams of every boy and every girl. You could fly higher than the sky, shine brighter than the stars. You could have all you ever wanted, shoot the moon and reach for Mars. You know you could.
Welcome everybody out there listening to Bar TV's coverage of round 6. It's the local derby, Wanderers versus Merewether Carlton, the Blues versus the Greens. It's the game everyone has been waiting for, especially the man sitting next to me, Jimmy Gardner. How are you, Jimmy?
Yeah, fantastic. Sunday rugby, great to see for a change. It's certainly not expected, not scheduled, but big crowd in today for what is the biggest grudge match in the NHRU. These teams go back 75 years where they're I guess near neighbours, for want of a better way to describe it. But their rivalry goes right to the core, from to the supporters right through to the juniors. It's one of the highlights of the day, whether it's here or Townsend Oval. And there's a good crowd in attendance today for what should be a ripper of a game. Yeah, good attendance, as you mentioned, Jimmy. There's rival clubs here. This Sunday game, it's a spectacle, isn't it? And I think it's something the clubs maybe should be pushing to do a bit more of. Oh, certainly. I think maybe, I know they've talked of having a match of around, either it be on a Friday night or a Sunday. It's an opportunity not only for to put the best game of the round under the spotlight, but for all those other clubs to interact with each other away from actually playing on the day. So, yeah, great to see a good crowd. Hopefully the weather stays pretty free. It does look like it's very overcast at the moment, but certainly doesn't appear to be any rain in those clouds. And the ground, considering the amount of rain we've had, has held up really well. It's nice and firm. Still a good coverage of grass and no mud patches. So firm footing and good conditions, ideal for rugby.
Yes, and of course the teams today aren't at full strength with the country game yesterday, but it does allow these players to sit on the bench. Do you see that coming into effect in this game, Jimmy?
Oh, absolutely. New South Wales Country played Sydney Sub-District yesterday. They got beaten 24-18. They won't have liked that. They'd be stinging to get back into action, you would think, those Newcastle guys. For Wanderers, it will be a case of they'll have 3 backing up, 3 of those all in the front row. So Blake Walsh, Andrew Tuala, and Ben Christensen. So I can certainly see them being injected midway through that second half when some of these guys that are the younger guys in particular, Dave Waller and Jackson Walsh, once they tire, they've been playing mainly Colts in second grade, so they'll tire, you'll think, and that'll be a fresh injection. And for Merewether Carlton, they'll have Blake Crichton, who played fly half for New South Wales Country, but I think there's a bit of a question mark over Jay Strawn, you were saying. Yeah,
Jay Strawn, I think injured himself on the bus ride, Jimmy, on the way back yesterday.
That can happen when you're stepping off that top step. So
a little bit of conjecture there. And anyway, so Blake Walsh is playing in this second grade fixture that's out there at the moment. So he may play a little bit of a part in the first grade fixture. I'm not too sure, but he's a young kid. He gets through a mountain of work as well.
I mean, those 19-year-olds, they just want to play footy. They played three times a day if you give them the opportunity. He was off the bench yesterday, so I'm not aware of how much time he got. I would imagine it would only be minimal, maybe the final 20 minutes at best. So his head looks like he's crossed over for a try here in second grade, so he's certainly going to be in a little bit of confidence. But the other two in particular, Blake Walsh hasn't played much first grade anyway. He's generally been in their second grade side, so in particular it's Andrew Tuala and Ben Christian. They could really come on and make an impact, particularly Tuala. He's such a powerful runner of the football, and he can just change the dynamic of a game and a scrum.
Yeah, and I guess we're talking about the Wanderers pack here. for our listeners at home. And Wanderers, their scrum has been the standout for them over the last couple of years. And Merewether Carlton a little bit down on their set piece at the moment.
Yeah, we'll just look at when you look at the two sides of the two front rowers. I think James Appy is a guy who's come up from Melbourne from Merewether Carlton. He certainly adds a little bit of starch to it. But Billy Dunn returns today after missing last week at hooker. He's a genuine hooker, and Dan Garner's the other one at tight head. He's played hooker all his life. And the last time I saw him, he was about 85 kilo ring and wet. I think he has put on a little bit of weight since he's been away from the game. But yeah, you would certainly think Wanderers will have the advantage when it comes to size. But that size doesn't always matter. And it'll be interesting to see how those two young front rowers in particular, Dave Waller and Jackson Walsh, start this game out. No doubts Merewether Carlton will attack Wanderers at the line out. That's probably where they have the edge in Sean Rich. But you would expect in tight, the two Blues may have the advantage. The thing I'm looking forward to is the battle of the breakdown. That's certainly an area where Merewether put a lot of time into. They're really physical, they're really hard, they attack everything. They basically dare the referee to penalise them. They live on the edge, so that's one area where Wanderers have been a little bit down the last couple of weeks. I know talking to Todd Loudon, the coach from last year, when he was back here for the Southern Beaches game, he said, well, that's one thing he'd noticed. They've lacked that hard edge at the breakdown, which they had last year and was a feature of their game. So that will certainly be one of the crucial points. And just looking at the back lines, on paper, you would think that Wanderers may have a slight edge there, given Blake Crichton and Jay Strawn aren't in the starting mix for Merewether Carlton. So I guess it will come down to that breakdown for mine.
Yeah, definitely. And we'll quickly go through the teams now. I'll start off with Merewether, shall I, Jimmy? So in the front row, as we mentioned, we've got James Appy, Dan Garner, and Billy Dunn's the hooker. Our second row is locks today. Sean Rich and Chris Tonks comes back into the side. Breakaways, Pat Island and Matt Island, the two brothers, and Mac Ray is the number 8 today. Halfback is Gareth Ernst, he'll be the captain. Fly half, Sam Gilmore. The centres today, inside centres, Kent Hatchwell and Ed Bakakalupo. Wingers are Luke Tuvey and Corey Nash, and young 17-year-old Sam Rouse is playing fullback today, Jimmy.
Another one I'm really looking forward to having a look at. He's a young league guy from what I understand. For the Premiers, the Wanderers, in the front row we have David Waller and Colin Hovell. The hooker is Jackson Walsh. Locking the scrum, Blair Rush and Andrew Fletcher. The back row consists of Ben Ham at blindside, Sam Heffron on the open side, and Dan Kevill, the number 8. Halfback and captain is Luke Sherwood. 5'8" Luke Simmons. On the wings are Daniel Murch and Andrew Katoa. The centre pairing is Robert Rogakia and Tapaki Rahui. And at the back is Callum McDonald. The referee for today's fixture is none other than
Des Gilbert, Jimmy.
Gilbert.
Yeah, and I like the way Des referees as well. He does generally have a free-flowing game about him, so it really suits both these sides. And I tell you what, Sam Rouse for the Merewether Carlton side, we watched him in the Southern Beaches game. He played on the wing, and he is an absolute standout, and he's a superstar of the future. I know he's on the radar of the Waratahs as well.
Oh, I know. I was speaking to Jason Toby, the coach, during the week, and I asked him about him. I thought he was obviously related to Anthony Rouse, the former halfback, premiership winning halfback at Merewether Carlton. He's his nephew, I understand. But he's only 17, still at school. He came along to play under 18s for Merewether Carlton. They liked what they saw of him in pre-season. They invited him away to their pre-season camp. Next thing you know, he's played 3 games, I think, in first grade, 2 on the wing, and this will be his second game at fullback. So he's a confident young kid, from all reports, a league background. So you would think his defence would be strong, and he's light on his feet. So yeah, looking forward to having a good look at him for sure.
Yeah, so the Merewether Carlton side with nothing to lose here today, and I just noticed in the last game we covered for Bar TV with the Wanderers, they did look a little bit disjointed in attack, I think, with the new combinations in the midfield as well. Jimmy, how do you see that playing? Yeah,
definitely. I thought they were a little bit flat. I think that's why they were a bit disjointed, and their forwards weren't getting that momentum, that roll on over the advantage line, that dynamic roll on that created that bit of space for me. I thought they got caught a little bit flat, and at times they were disjointed, and their timing was a little bit out. So it'd be interesting to see whether they've made any adjustments there. I think this back line now has been together probably 3 or 4 weeks now too, so I think you'll find the more they play together, the more that rhythm will come and those combinations will be better. But that'll be certainly an area. If you look defensively at Merewether Carlton, Kent Hatchwell is very up in your face, isn't he? He may struggle to go a bit laterally. So I'd say they'll put a lot of traffic in around that midfield. Guys with light feet that can, that's where Tapaki Rahu, he's very good, and so is Rogakia. They're both guys that sort of beat players through evasion rather than through power. So I think they'll aim a little bit of traffic there. And no doubt they'll test the young fullback for sure, whether that's through high balls or certainly test his positioning more than anything. So, yeah, a lot of subplots to this game, isn't there?
Yeah, definitely. And the old warhorse, Dan Kevill versus young Mac Ray, who's another emerging talent for this Merewether Carlton side. I like that battle as well between the two number 8s, Jimmy.
Yeah, sort of contrasting players, aren't they? Dan Kevill, very easy to see because he's a foot taller than anyone else, and he gets that big one arm if he's free, and he runs that little bit wider, whereas Matt Ray plays really tight. Very good from the back of the scrum, and you would think, if Merewether scrum is under pressure, he's very good at picking the ball up and going forward and resetting it, and his defence is outstanding. And he also poses a threat in the line-out. So, yeah, they're sort of two contrasting players, but both equally important to the hopes of their teams.
Yes, and of course, Dr. Michael Dan is away for 5 weeks as well, so the coaching staff has had a bit of a shuffle too with Merewether Carlton, which may play into the Wanderers' hands as well. I guess
in a way.
You've got Jason Toby and Trent Considine's made the step up as well to come in the first grade side.
Yeah, I think Trent's been looking after the forwards, and of course, Jason Toby provides a bit of continuity. He was their assistant coach last year. Obviously, the strength is his backs. And he also, taking him on, he was the assistant coach with Newcastle this year, so he's had quite a close look at a lot of these Wanderers players as well. He's changed the way that they're attacking a little bit. They've changed their structure slightly. I think Mark Bell may have been doing a little bit of work with the forwards as well, but he's based in the Central Coast, or has been working at the Central Coast. But I have no doubts that Michael Dean will be watching every bar ticket coverage. He's being sent over DVDs. He'd know exactly what's going on. The instructions, there'd be pages and pages of emails of what he likes and what he doesn't like. We can't hear him from here.
If you are listening out there, Michael Dan, feel free to tweet us at Bar TV Sports or get in the game on Facebook, Bar TV Sports, and of course subscribe to the YouTube channel at Bar TV Sports. We'd like to thank the sponsors that we see Merewether Carlton run out now. We've got the greater NHRU, obviously, and NIB, the two major sponsors. Then we've got Viatech, Tui's, and of course the Newcastle Herald, where our esteemed colleague Jimmy Garner is the head rugby writer there.
Indeed, and all your rugby news, there'll be plenty there tomorrow, and of course we're looking at starting the blog up this Friday, and of course and the More Than All page on a Thursday, so plenty to keep rugby fans entertained. Just go out there and buy your copy of the Newcastle Herald.
Yes, and we see Sherwood now leading out the Blues with Kevill right behind him. He is a monster, isn't he, Kevill? He absolutely dwarfs Sherwood out there, who looks a little bit thin on the top as well from behind here on the Bar TV
He's
screen.
not long become a father, so I guess that's a reason for that. And he's getting close to pushing that 30 mark as well. So these guys are really experienced now, and they've formed the core of this team, particularly last year. I mean, Dan Kevill started his career at Wanderers, played juniors through there, won a premiership with them in 2009. Then did Dance with the Devil, crossed to the dark side and went to Merewether Carlton for a couple of years.
I think he's the only player that's ever gone back to Wanderers.
Yeah, normally once you go, you don't come back. But
you don't want to go back normally.
Oh, well,
it is Dan Kevill though.
He has been. The games I've seen this year, he's been again at his brutal best. He's possibly the hardest hitter in the competition. He's certainly the most watched by the referees. Sometimes a little bit over the top for mine. But in terms of complete football, there's few that can match him. He's a tower in the line-out. He's effective with the ball. He hits harder than the taxman, and he plays with his heart.
Yeah, so we see Simmons now with the ball. Looks like Wanderers are going to kick and run towards the junction end of the ground, which is left to right on your screens at home. Of course, Wanderers in the blue, Merewether Carlton in the green. Des Gilbert, as we mentioned, is out there officiating. He's getting his sign-off from the captains. Both captains look like they're ready. The crowd is absolutely pumped here. As Des Gilbert blows the whistle, it's game on here at number 2 Sports Ground. And Sam Gilmore takes the ball nicely, and that's a nice kick by Sam, who will probably use his boot to great effect today, Jimmy.
Yeah, great to see him back too. He had a couple of years off, or certainly a couple of years playing lower grades. Obviously, the death of his father last year. Had a very good cricket season. He's possibly the best cricketer in town, and he's certainly a very handy footballer. He's just good at controlling the greens now. He's kicking in particular in his direction. That's what they'll look for today.
Yeah, Simmons gets the ball out wide. This is a break early on here for the Wanderers side.
Straight through. Yeah.
And they look to spread it again, going left. They've got numbers coming around on the short side. McDonald calling for it. Doesn't get it, though. Taking it forward there was Blair Rush. McDonald now at the back of the breakdown coming in. They're going to have to commit numbers here, the Wanderers side.
Yeah, good little counter-act there from Merewether Carlton. Looks like they've actually won a turnover. I thought they might have slowed it up to start with, but it looks like they've got a turnover here. Great scrambling. Yeah,
Ernst a little bit slow to get there to organise his troops there for the Merewether Carlton side, the captain, as the ball looks like it's going to go back to Gilmore. It does. Gilmore, it's charged down here, could be trouble. But no, cleaned up nicely there by the Merewether Carlton fullback, Rouse. But this could be real danger here for the Greens. Goes back, danger on their own line here. They're going to have to ruck the ball out.
Yeah, Wanderers will certainly turn the heat up here defensively. They'll get up in their face and try and force another error. Pressure kick, gets it away, but doesn't find touch.
Yeah, young Sam Rouse that was with a kick, and Wanderers now on the counter-attack. That's a good run there
Dan
by
Murch
the
it
winger,
was.
Dan Murch.
Yeah, an equally good tackle there by Paddy Island.
He's one of the real improvers for this
Ooh.
Wanderers side, Dan Murch. It looked like he may have been offside there, the other Island boy. As they go left, and that's a rush there, taking the ball forward. They're about 15 metres out now, looking to attack. I tell you what, it's a fast-paced game so far, Jimmy.
Yeah, all Wanderers so far. They've had all the ball. Yeah, Sam Gilmore, uncharacteristic error by him. He sort of just had a bit of a look, or lost his footing. Had to put it on the left foot, and it was a great smother from one of Wanderers. And now they've got an opportunity to post first points on the board.
Yeah, they're going to go for the goal here, which is probably the safe option. Looks like Simmons is waiting for their kicking tee. Yes, he is. Cavill coming to the sideline. Just looking for some water. Nothing too wrong with him.
Yeah, interesting to see the first couple of times Wanderers had the ball in hand. They did take at least those 2 passes wide. You know, they're trying to get away from that strength of the Greens, which is their back row, and not wanting to get isolated there where they can attack and force some turnovers. So Big Blair Rush got that big right arm out and produced a nice fend over there on the short side. He's another interesting one. His father, Eric Rush, is a former All Black and Sevens superstar. Obviously an outside back, whereas Blair's a big 6'2" bullocking second rower. So he has that hard edge to Wanderers, and he was very disappointed. He went home last year rather than stay for the second. Missed the grand final in the premiership, so that was part of the reason he came back here to try and make amends, and he's just starting to get some fitness.
Yeah, nice one. And the Wanderers take that penalty successfully. So the score here now, Wanderers 3, Merewether Carlton 0. As they come back now for the restart. Back at Galupo with the ball, and that's a nice high restart there by the Greens. Taken equally as well by the Wanderers on the far side of the field. Sherwood at the back now. Gets the ball out, and again they're pushing it a little bit wider, aren't they, Jimmy? As you mentioned. But they look a little bit disorganised as Fletcher takes the ball. He'll do that all day. For mine, he's their real work horse in the pack here, Jimmy.
Yeah, definitely unsung hero. He was another that wasn't going to play this year after the success of last year. His wife had a baby, but I think he's won that little battle. He's been training hard, and he just provides them. He's nice and tight and very direct, goes straight. As another error there from the kicking side of Merewether Carlton.
Yeah, out on the full there by Baka Galupo. Won't be happy with that one. Merewether Carlton side look like they're mixing it up there with their kickers as well, don't they? They've got a few options there, but that one just not working out for them. Yeah, nice throw there by the Wanderers. Not controlling it to the back, though. Island comes through on it. Nice work by the Greens as Dan Garner taking it forward now. Good run by him, taking numbers with him.
They've got numbers on the right here, but big Uppy takes it up, gives it a don't argue to Andrew Fletcher.
Yeah, funny story about Uppy. He's friends with Eric in Melbourne, who used to play with
Eric Ecker. They're not too dissimilar, are they? In build, and I'm not sure Ecker would have pink headgear on, though, but other than that, they're very similar in stature and in the way they play.
So Eric sent him here from Melbourne and said, come and play for Merewether Carlton while you're here. So Ernst with the ball now, and Garner taking it forward, and he's probably the Fletcher of Merewether Carlton, isn't he? He's the unsung hero. He takes the ball forward.
Yeah, glad to see him back at the club too, because I think he left in, I wouldn't say it was acrimonious circumstances, but he certainly walked away from the club when they probably needed him most, when they were just about to come into some success. He's been there and was the toilet for so long, and now they've got a good side. It's good to see him back involved.
And Ken Hatchwell just making the break, the ball getting stripped. There's Simmons with it, and Simmons, not the best kick there, not finding much ground, the Wanderers, but it's going to be a knock-on.
Yeah,
So
they
it's
go
going
back
to be
to
the
that
first
knock-on.
scrum
Yeah,
here, and
yeah.
we'll see these.
I know they're playing the line out.
Well, they are
Very
playing the line
interesting.
out. I thought they may have gone for the scrum there.
And now he's given it Wanderers throw. I'm a little bit perplexed as
confused.
to. No, he's
We're
actually gone.
confused.
He's gone to the scrum here. He's ruled the knock
Everyone's
on.
confused.
He had ruled the knock on. The players, that message didn't quite get through to the players who were lined up for a line out there. But no, first scrum of the day.
So this will be the real tester, and big Appy, he really makes a big difference to this Greens pack. He's a big boy.
Well, he's up against Colin Hovell, who was in the Newcastle rep side, and from all accounts was very unlucky not to make that country squad. Not only that, I mean, Colin Hovell's 35 now. He played for the Bay of Plenty, so he's played ITM Cup over in New Zealand, so he knows how to hold up a scrum. Don't worry about that.
Well, prop forwards don't hit their straps till they're 36, do they?
That one just goes down. Couldn't quite hold the weight there on the loose head side. Certainly, Dave Waller's got a 10-15 kilo on Dan Garner there on that loose head side of the Wanderers scrum. So that'll be one intriguing battle, a bit of experience there, because of course Dan Garner played most of his rugby at hooker.
At hooker, that's right. I had a couple of good seasons cuddling up to Dan in the front row there, Jimmy. And I tell you what, he has dropped a few kegs and he's lifted his work rate as well, and he's come back.
Oh, yeah, just goes again this side, but that's at the back of the scrum, and he's allowed that to play on.
Yeah, it's a little bit sloppy, wasn't it, as they take the forward through Rongakia. Rahui calling for the ball out wide. Simmons with it. Goes to McDonald instead. McDonald just looking to turn around the Merewether Carlton forwards and kicking it into space. Now it's Rouse with the ball. Rouse backing himself, but that's a good chase there by the two Blues.
Yeah.
As they come forward through the Greens now. They've done well to scramble there, the Greens.
Yeah, they just got the support back in time. Wanderers were really looking to counter-attack there. They threw a lot of numbers in at that breakdown. Now they've caught a little bit short here on the left, but Merewether just play calm, truck it up the middle. Let's get a bit of composure. This is the first time they've really had their hands on the ball for a sustained period.
Gilmore with it, looking for the long ball. Yeah, gets it back at Galupo. Corey Nash now, he's got pace. Corey Nash gets around one. He tries to get around another, but he can't. He's met well, and that's a solid tackle there by Andrew Katoa. As we go now to Rich, he's got to be offside there, Rush. Referee says play on.
Yeah, got away with that one. He just got caught blindsided there, Des Gilbert.
Apai goes through, Gilmore with it, looking to turn around the Wanderers' defence, and Simmons comes through, and that's a good take there by Simmons, who gets the ball downfield, but the ball finds touch, probably 30 out.
And lucky he got there in time too. He had to hustle. He had to show those wheels he got there just in the nick of the time, just as the Merewether Carlton player was about to say thank you very much, and off he goes. He just got there in time, evaded the winger, and then found touch 10 metres outside their 22. Good opportunity though for Merewether Carlton to attack.
Yeah, so Merewether Carlton look like they're going to be using the boot a little bit more often than we see, and looking to turn around this Wanderers side. They've kicked on early occasions a few times already in this match. There's now Sean Rich looking to get the ball, turns it on the inside to Garner. Does Ernst a little Georgie play off the back of the breakdown there as Apai takes the ball forward now. A player definitely in the mould of the big Willies that played with the Beaches. Now obviously Hamilton, Willie so now, as the ball gets spread wide.
Yeah, Luke Tuvey over there in that right wing. I don't know much about him, but from first impression, he looks quick.
Yeah, I don't know too much about him either. I think he's come up from the Colts maybe. And yeah, definitely got speed to burn, hasn't he?
Yeah, no doubt. Particularly early on, I think you'll see Sam Gilmore do plug those corners, do look for those half-attacking kicks, half-field position kicks. With what is likely to be a disjointed back line, given the two players that are out, and a new back line, given those Cutley young boys. He'll be just liking to settle them in, let them do some chasing, put some pressure on before he starts backing them one-on-one to beat their opposite. Yeah, well, he's such a calming influence as well. He's so casual, and he's just got a cool head. I really like him playing at 10 in this Greens outfit. And for mine, when Blake Crichton comes back, I think he might come into the fullback position. Yeah, and Blake's played plenty of football at fullback too, and that's the beauty of it. You can stand you can stand one on each side, and certainly have two ball players there. Then it doesn't matter which way you go; both of them can beat a man in different ways. So this scrum taking a while to set here. Des Gilbert not happy with it on the far side of the field. You can see Apai standing out there in the pink headgear. Certainly must back his ability. Yeah, you don't see when props do wear headgear, you don't often see them wearing bright pink headgear, that's for sure. So I'm sure he can back up whatever he puts out there. Another good scrum, good contest this. Just folding in. Yeah, just folding in there. Des Gilbert will come over to the other side and just see what's happening. Hovell doing a pretty good job in the scrum here against the big Apai with the pink headgear. Yeah, I mean, both of them are obviously the two most experienced front rowers in both sides, so they're looking to anchor it for each other. So whoever wins that personal battle, you would think that side of the scrum will get on top. I thought Apai was a centre in Melbourne. Game up easy prop. There are some big boys down that way, I hear. Yeah, just folding in. They're lucky to get away with that, Apai, I think. Yeah, and he doesn't. Yeah, definitely. He doesn't get away with that one. So Hovell getting the advantage early on in the set piece at the scrum. Apai's going to have to lift his game in regards to that. Probably maybe have to just take a step back and look to engage. Yeah, particularly, I mean, that was on obviously Wanderer's ball as well. So I think for mine, he's better off just keeping his energy and his resources. I won't say folding in at this one, but certainly completed that opposition scrum, but save majority of his efforts for on the Merewether Carlton ball.
Yeah, Jackson Walsh has been impressive with his throws so far at the line out. And here comes Simon, but all nicely taken there by Ireland, coming from the back of the line out and chasing down his man. As Fletcher calling for it now. Fletcher not making many yards, but tucking the ball under and getting his players set around him. Now Sherwood calling for it. As they go now. Oh, Ham is absolutely slaughtered by Ken Hatchwell.
He read it. He could see it coming and got up off the line. Line speed great. They go wide here, Wanderers.
Yeah, it could be trouble here out wide, but no. Merewether
Good leg drive. Bust through 2 tackles. They're hard to pull down.
Yeah,
they got him lined up on the right here, Wanderers. They need a quick ball back the other way.
Sherwood standing wide now, and Ham dealt with again. Ham and Kevill just not ready for that one, and the ball comes out now to Simmons, and Simmons gets the ball downfield. Rouse has got a bit to do, but there's not a real good chase on that for all money by the Wanderers, and he gets rid of that one, Rouse, down the field, and that's a good clearing kick. That's a better kick from the young fullback.
Yeah, certainly the early signs are good for him, doesn't he? He looks like he's a cool customer under pressure as Cal McDonald throws a wild quick line out. They stretch it here on the left for Rokakoa. He's got a lot of space out here. Sam Gilmore to beats him on the inside. They come across in cover. You're looking to get the ball back now. Wanderers, they're just a little bit disorganised here. Ham gets it again. I'm not surprised he's passing it. He's been whacked the last 2 times. Kevill gets that one arm free, forces it, and that's a costly little turnover. Scrum, Merewether Carlton
Kevill has got that in his game, though, hasn't he? He does tend to maybe force a loose pass, but I mean, when it comes off, it's unbelievable.
Yeah, that all happened a little bit too fast for Wanderers. I think they were expecting things to. Kevill got one out the back he didn't expect, and then Dan Ham got hammered a couple of times, and the ball goes out, and they throw a quick line out, and they're just lacking that little bit of structure and organisation that they normally play with. It's a bit ad lib at the moment. So
as
I think
we mentioned at the top of the broadcast, as we look at the replay here, you just see that they're a little bit disorganised, a little bit disshelved here, the Wanderers side, and Ham. He's picked up and driven. That's a good tackle there.
Yeah, Dan Garner was involved in that. And I think he might have become a little bit worse for wear. He's just getting a little bit of attention now, but it was a great hit.
The old warhorse just wants a drink there. Looks like he's got an orange in his mouth as well. No, that's his mouth guard. As we see now, the Wanderers pack working as one. Kevill just laying down the law.
Yeah, they're just a little bit predictable when Ben Ham's being hit up. They need to sort of go in pairs. They're sort of running a little bit one out, and while they're going 2 passes wide, it's still very easy to, as a defender, to work out exactly who's going to be getting the ball. So I just think they need to vary it up a bit. A couple of times, in that opening 10 minutes, they hit it. One goes through as a decoy, and you hit that man around the back. That's certainly something I'd be looking at just to get that defensive unit in 2 minds. Because as we said, Ken Hatchwell is one of the best front-on defenders there is. Certainly for a centre going around. It's when he has to think or when he has to go sideways that it may become an issue. So I'm sure Wanderers will try and test him out in that avenue at some point as the half wears on.
Yeah, this is a better scrum by the Carlton side as the ball goes to the right. Kent Hatchwell with it. Gets it off to Bakagalupo. Takes it forward. He's been pretty impressive so far, Bakagalupo. He's just made the return back in to the first grade side, and Ernst puts a little kick over.
Yeah, finds touch there. A good little smart play there by Gareth Ernst. Just starting to build a little bit of pressure. As we said in the preview, one of the strengths of Merewether Carlton is their line out. Sean Rich is a real tower there, and I think the young boy Tonks is also quite strong, and Mac Ray at the front. So, I mean, if the ball can go out, that gives them, I think they're a 50-50 chance of getting ball back when it comes to line out time.
Yeah, the ball goes to Kevill. So Greens don't contest that one. Sherwood with a long ball out to Rangtoa. And he's lost the ball here. Good chance now for Carlton. Bakagalupo gets it to Nash. Nash does a little bit of dancing. Bumps one off, does Nash. But he's taken down about just short of the 22-metre line there. And Mac Ray taking it forward, doing the tight stuff. And that's a good clean out there by one of the Island boys.
Billy Dunn, another good yards. Big Appy's loitering out here in the centres. He could hit this. Oh, just goes. The ball goes behind him.
That's his natural position, Jimmy. As the ball goes out, Bakagalupo cleans up the scraps. They're about 15 out now, not making much ground here.
Looks like, is there a turnover? I think Wanderers might have their hand on the ball here. No, they get a penalty.
It's going to be a penalty, and for mine, the Merewether Carlton side will take the kick for goal. Sam Gilmore, a very, very cool under pressure and a bit of a sharpshooter. Kicks Merewether Carlton to a couple of grand finals.
The opening 15 minutes certainly been everything we expected it to be. We expected it to be an arm wrestle, and it's been certainly that and much more. Both teams just probably a little bit guilty of trying too hard at the moment. They just need to relax, get in a bit of rhythm, and wait for those opportunities to come.
Yeah, it's been a good, tough forwards battle. Both sides have been putting some good shots on, haven't they, in defence, and both sides are willing to do the hard work, which, to be fair, both sides aren't renowned for that either.
Oh, I think there's been a real change the last 2 years for both of them. No doubts. I think Wanderers, their motto going back to the 90s and mid-thousands was "Let's run it," whereas now they know they've got to do the hard work first. They've spent a lot of time on their set piece, their scrum in particular, starting to obviously reap the rewards with that. And Merewether Carlton, they've become nearly the best defensive team in the competition, whereas in years gone by, they were also noted for their backs, particularly for their pace and their ability to run the ball from anywhere. So.
And he's missed it.
Missed it. We put the mocker on him. He can't believe it himself. He could have thrown that over Sam Gilmore. He's stunned.
He is absolutely blowing up at himself on the far side there, Sam Gilmore. Won't be happy with that. That were easy points for mine. And Ben Ham with the ball. A little dummy kick. Doesn't go anywhere. Bit of a waste of time, that, for my reckoning. I don't understand why forwards pretend to kick it. As Simmons with the ball now. Oh, charge down there by Tonks. He's a big piece of tall timber, Tonks.
Yeah, he's a real old school second row, isn't he? He's a big lumping lad.
He reminds me a bit of an old young Brad Kinder, sorry. Of course, yeah. Brad Kinder's played about 200 first grade games for the Greens.
Very handy footballer. Last time I saw him, he stripped about 30 kilo.
It's all that he works for himself, Jimmy. That's what you've got to do. Hunter bench tops, I think. We'll give him a little plug while he's listening into the Bar TV coverage.
And again, this is a great opportunity for Merewether Carlton. They've spent pretty much the last 10 minutes down in this passage of the field. They go long at the back to Pat Island.
Pat Island takes it in. They've got it in a maul. This is good play here by Merewether Carlton. They are controlling it very, very well at the back as they go through now. Taken down, tackled. Fair play. And that's a good ball by Gilmore to Rouse, but read well there by Rahui.
They've picked him back up here. Oh no, he just gets the ball at the back.
And Ernst now, a little darting run by Ernst. Ernst makes a little break. Very, very dangerous from the back of the breakdown is Ernst. Looks like Garner's in there now to pick the ball up and take some with him. Yes, he does exactly that, not making any ground. He's going to have to get to ground, and he does.
The Greens are all stacked up to the right here. No doubts which way they're going. They just truck it up.
And he's
young Ireland had a bit of a look, but he's caught him offside, though. They're a little bit anxious, their Wanderers. A little bit too quick out of the blocks.
So Gilmore will again try to make up for the penalty he missed before. And you mentioned his cricket before. He hit 5 sixes in one of those games last year in the final over to win the game for Merewether.
Oh, he's one of those blokes who's got a magnificent eye. Obviously his old man Gus Gilmore was certainly one of the most gifted all-rounders ever to play for Australia. Should have played more Test cricket, and no doubts those genes have been passed on. Sam, quick opening bowler and just as lethal with the willow, particularly when you need quick runs. He's certainly one man that can provide. And there's not that much of him, to be fair.
No, there's not. I think he's lost weight now that he's back in full training.
This penalty is about an identical spot as the last one. You wouldn't expect that he would miss this one second time round.
Ernst run through there and just not controlling the ball there, Ernst, but luckily for the Merewether Carlton side that the Wanderers not making the line.
And that's one of the features of Gareth Ernst's play, isn't it? He's that experienced, and he's still got that little bit of spark, even though he's probably in the twilight of his career. He's got a little bit of spark if he sees a lazy.
Oh, and Gilmore's missed it again.
Put the mocker on him big time.
Sam Gilmore is the worst kicker in the NHRU, Jimmy.
No, 10 years before you miss two from that easy, from directly the same spot. But yeah, back to Ernst. Wow. He just gives you that. He has that experience, and he still has that little bit of explosiveness that if he sees a lazy defender on the side of the ruck, he can spot a hole and bang, he's gone. That's certainly one area Wanderers will have to be very tight on.
Yeah, they go long here, the Wanderers, as Mac Ray gets a little handoff. Could have been maybe even a forward pass there. As he goes forward, the big number 8, he's strong. He's still going. That's a good run there by the young number 8, Mac Ray. Ernst at the back now. Cheeky little box kick. Nash coming through on it. Simmons up to the task, and Simmons gets the ball downfield. not making much ground on it. But again, Simmons, the fullback, doing very, very well for his Wanderers
Under a
side.
heap of pressure there, wasn't he? He couldn't one mistake there, and you're down 7 points. Interesting to see it defensively. Simmons and Cal McDonald, they switch. Simmons goes from fly half back to fullback in defence, and Cal McDonald comes up to that fly half position. He's certainly a very strong defender.
Yeah, definitely. He's electric as well. As Gilmore with the ball now, gets it inside to Bakagalupo. He takes it in. He's met very hard by Fletcher. Nice hit there by the Wanderers second row as they go up the middle again. Ernst with a cheeky little half break from the halfback, and Tonks picks the ball up from the back of the breakdown. So they'll go again. Gilmore with it. Goes wide. Kent Hatchwell gets around one. He's ankle tapped, but Gilmore backs up as they keep the ball alive. It's a break now. This could be trouble. It's Rahui down the sideline. He's got a couple coming across, and Tuvey takes him down and takes him over the sideline.
Certainly, we were mentioning that young boy's pace early on. He showed he had a clean pair of heels there. Rahui must have had 7-8 metres start on him, and he whipped him in a 50-metre dash just before the quarter line. In the end, Rahui gave up the race. He stopped and twisted and tried to stay in field, but the cover came across. A great piece of cover from the young winger. It looks like Uppy's got an ankle problem here down in back play for Merewether Carlton.
So we look at the replay here of the break, Jimmy.
He just ripped it off.
Yeah, good defence, good steal there by Rahui, and I thought he would have had the pace, but you see Tuvey just absolutely
motored him down that last 10 metres.
He had at least 5 metres on him there. As we go now back to play, Ernst finds touch. They go for the quick line out. Simmons with it as they get the ball back to Simmons now. Could have been forward, but no. Referee says line ball and flat.
I think it was all right. I think it was just.
Danny makes a break. Murch up the middle to Cavill. Cavill spills the ball. Bakagalupo with it now. Oh, and he's taken over the top there. That's fine, says the referee. Gilbert is taken back in there, and Gilmore goes for the sideline. And he finds touch and just slows the play down.
Yeah,
unlucky there for Cavill.
You just get a sense here that both teams are ready to snap, don't they? It's just going to take that one piece of brilliance or that one pass to go to hand, and I think we'll have our first try scorer. At the moment, Merewether Carlton had a good period there for 10 minutes. Now it looks like it's Wanderers' turn to attack.
Yeah, they've definitely picked up their tempo when they've had the ball, the Wanderers here, and that was a good run there by the winger, Danny Murchie. As I said before, he's probably the most improved, I think, in this Wanderers setup. And Ham takes the ball nicely. Sherwood out wide to Simmons. Back on the inside there to Katoa.
I think your find Murch was even under threat of going down to second grade this week with Billy Coffey coming back. But Bill Coffey got a staph infection and spent a couple of days in hospital.
Here he is now,
and here he is again.
Murch taken nicely by Tuvey. He's causing all sorts of problems down that left flank as Fletcher has the ball now. Taking the ball in, Fletcher.
That was a good take. It was low, and it's difficult for a big second rower to pick that up and still manage to truck a couple of yards forward as Jackson Walsh hits it up. Good tackle there from the Merewether Carlton defence. I think it was Matt Ray.
Yeah, very good line speed by Carlton here. They're showing as Rush gets the ball away. Nicely taken, though, by the Merewether Carlton defence again, adjusting well. As now Sherwood's at the back. Fletcher calling for it. Oh, nice little short ball to Ham. He bumps off Gilmore. He looks to get the ball away, but he didn't have any support there as they go left. Yeah, Simmons with it. Nice ball. As McDonald has it all taken nicely around the bootlegs. No, he's up. And here they go. Katoa in the corner. And Katoa has scored a try. Yeah, and that's a good try. And that's a good build-up and play, Jimmy.
Yeah, some good support work there. A couple of... It looked like Cal McDonald had been brought down, but he obviously wasn't held. He got to his feet and off he went again. He gave it to Katoa. Katoa, a former halfback in his day, he has made a real fist of it on the wing. He showed good speed to get to the corner, and first blood to Merewether Carlton. To Wanderers.
Well, he's playing on the right wing, and he found himself looking for work all the way on the left flank there, and he comes in, chimes in well off McDonald's as Simmons gets the ball to McDonald. And McDonald does well to get back to his feet there, gets the ball away to Katoa, and Katoa just sped off to the line, got low, great body position, and that's a good build-up of pressure and a good try to the Wanderers. So 26 minutes gone. That's the first try of the match. The Wanderers here 8, Merewether Carlton 0, kick to come. And Simmons, it's a hard task here. He's right on the sideline, 22 metres out. How do you like his chances, Jimmy?
He's a bit of a streak kicker, Luke Simmons. I've seen him kick him from everywhere, and then seen him have days where he couldn't hit the side of the barn. So it's normally an indication of his first one. He struck his first one pretty cleanly. It is on his favourite side out there. So, mate, I'll back him in.
You back him in?
Back him in.
No. Confidence. That is the epitome of confidence there by our esteemed Herald reporter, James Gardner. Of course, I can't wait to get my coffee and paper in the morning and read what you've written about this match tomorrow, Jimmy. The Newcastle Herald, and he has missed that, and you are putting the mocker on them all day today,
none
Jimmy.
from 3 at this point.
So 8-0, and that's a bit of luck there for the Merewether Carlton side. I don't think they would have wanted it to blow out to 10-0.
This will be a test of their resolve, Merewether Carlton, because they really were in it. That first, after that first little arm wrestle, the first 5 or 10 minutes, they had a really good period there for 10 or 15 minutes. weren't able to come away with anything. Now they really need to have a response and hit back, whether it's through their defence initially.
Oh, good hit there by Ireland off the restart as well. Sorry to interrupt you there, Jimmy, as they take the ball in here. The Wanderers again playing a little bit wider. They're set now for the kick. It's taken back there. McDonald with it. So McDonald puts up a nice high kick there. Ernst finds himself back. The ball bounces off that big chest of his as he gets a little grubber down. Good, safe, smart kick there by the halfback. That's the experience coming through there, and that's a good option, Jimmy.
Yeah, he's just going to turn him around, keep turning around. It's the third or fourth time now he's intentionally just aimed for that corner. Again, trying to assert a bit of pressure here at the line-out. So far, the Wanderers line-out has held up very well. It's got, I guess Jackson Walsh, I think he's in his second or third year out of Colts. He's essentially their third-string hooker playing today, but he's hit the money every time so far with his line-out throwing. Again, they go short to Ham.
Yeah, Ham taking it forward. They've got it, mauling it up the field. Cavill's at the back, just holding on nicely, just having a look around there. Good play by
the body height's good. Body height's good from Wanderers.
Good technique here by the two Blues. And the ball's out now. McDonald getting the ball wide to Simmons, and Simmons kicks to open field, and here comes Katoa. It's a favourable bounce. He gets it on the foot, and here he goes again. He's lost his footing though, but that's a good clean out there.
Rahui came in, gave it everything.
You don't often see that from an outside centre, but he absolutely launched at him then.
And he had to. Otherwise, that was going to be a turnover. All that good work would have been wasted. Again, it's a bit slow here at the back. Merewether Carlton just a chance to set their line again.
No one at home here. Rouse has to get across. Rahui coming, and Rouse ducks under one. Gets around another. Gets the ball downfield. Simmons back there, though. Nice work by the young 17-year-old. It may have been a bit of an obstruction, but he got away with it. And here's Murch now, certainly taking them on.
In the NFL, they would have been proud of that. That was a great block. He gave his young fullback plenty of protection there. 50-50 whether it was an obstruction, but neither way. Wanderers have again got the ball. Cal McDonald trucks it up a bit flat-footed. Get caught high in the tackle, but he manages to get to ground. They come back around the corner here, Wanderers. They'll hit it up off the right shoulder here of Luke Sherwood.
Here comes Rush now. Rush taking the ball through. Cavill there to clean out. Someone's boot comes flying over the sideline as Hovel now hoveling up the field. Good run there by the big prop forward. The ball now with Ham. Ham gets the ball wide to Simmons. Simmons kicks. It's been touched. Gilmore cleans it up, and Gilmore hoofs the ball downfield. Good clearing kick there by the 5'8". And McDonald now getting back there, and Gilmore chases his own kick. That's got them out of trouble, hasn't it, Jimmy?
Poor option there by Luke Simmons. They were building pressure, their Wanderers. They were starting to break the line. They were getting over the advantage line with their forwards. And then sort of play got spurted out the back. He took the options to kick in behind, but he got a hand to it, Merewether Carlton, and they managed to make 30 metres out of it. But Wanderers again win that line out. They've been very secure there at this point, and they'll truck it up again, working it out of their own quarter.
Yes, nice run there by the two Blues. McDonald now kicking again. Little banana kick into open space as Nash comes back. Rouse with the ball now. And Rouse gets around. Oh, that's a poor pass by the fullback, and it's been knocked back, says the referee, by Tuvey, the winger. I don't know about that one, as Ernst takes it up, and now Appy with it. Appy looks... Oh, he doesn't find his support, who was in open play as the Wanderers now counter-attack as Cavill trips over his own feet, keeps the ball in play, and now Gilmore back there again to clean up the scraps. The ball has rolled into the 22, and Gilmore gets the ball into touch. So that was a comedy of errors, Jimmy.
Helter-skelter stuff, wasn't it? One side there just need to go to ground and set play up. Crazy stuff. They'll be all those forwards will be taking a couple of deep breaths after that one as we have a player injured. It looks like Luke Sherwood might have a problem with his shoulder. And we've gone back for what was a knock-on, obviously a touch judge's call. And we've had some correspondence from our Twitter feed. This one's from a bloke by the name of Slug Tab, who said he's happy to hold any more of my wages if I want to back any of these goal kickers. The point that I'm none from 3, Slugger knows me well. He quite happy to take my money, and I think I'm due to come good, Slug. So I think I'll back Sam Gould next time he's on.
Very, very good. And of course, if you do want get into the game, at Bar TV Sports or hashtag Bar TV Sports on Twitter and of course Facebook. Get on the Facebook page and get on the YouTube channel. Of course, we are streaming live on the Herald and the NHRU websites as well.
Yeah, I think both sets of forward packs will be appreciating this little stop in play. It hasn't necessarily been it has been physical in points, but they've been doing clocking up some yards. Both teams have been willing to throw the ball. The play's gone from end to end. There's been plenty of kicking, plenty of turnovers.
And it's only 8-0.
32 minutes gone.
Yeah, so 32 minutes gone, as Jimmy just mentioned, in this round 6 of the Greater NHRU. Of course, the Greater doing wonders for local rugby as the major sponsor. And now the ball comes in through Ernst. Better scrum there by the Greens again, as Hatchwell now taking the ball forward as Kevell comes across. Good hit by him coming over.
Yeah, nice clean out too. It looked like he was going to steal that ball there, Kevell, but the support got there just in time. This time Gilmore nudges it down towards that corner again. It rolls into touch.
Yeah, nice clearing kick again there by Gilmore. Just putting a little bit of pressure again on the Wanderers side to get out of their own 22. Smart tactics, do you think, Jimmy?
Indeed.
Has it been working for them?
Well, not to this point. They certainly haven't stolen any line out yet, but you would think the tighter these blokes get, that's when the errors come, whether it's through the timing in the line out thrower or the timing of the jump. There's no doubt it's a tactic that they'll stick to, particularly while ever the game's still in the balance as it is. They go short. They get a little bit of pressure there, Merewether Carlton. They got the good line speed up here on Rockakawa, but he manages just to get outside the 22. Support gets there. They're lined up here on the right. Luke Sherwood has a look around, decides to go back to left, this time to Dave Waller. They've got a bit of space here, Dan Murch.
Here he goes again, outside. Murch going down the sideline, bumping off one. He's strong, isn't he, on that wing? But no, Merewether Carlton come up with it through Mac Ray.
Again, just that final ball just going to ground and another turnover. That'd be the only thing that I imagine Viv Passy would be disappointed with so far, just the amount of times that they haven't capitalised on the possession they've got in the field position they've been in. Merewether Carlton got numbers on the right here. They've got it 3-on-2.
Here they go now, the Carlton side. Nash, he's got plenty of pace. He gets around his man there. He's got support on the inside. Rouse with the ball, and Rouse taken in heavy contact by Sherwood, and the Wanderers come over the ball, and the Wanderers have counter-rucked and won the ball back.
Yeah, great work
Unlucky
there from Luke Sherwood. He just had a look up just as he caught the ball, didn't he? And he met the shoulder of Luke Sherwood, and it was a great tackle.
Yeah, good tackle there by Sherwood. That's a big play there. That's the play that wins your matches, Jimmy.
Indeed. It's just starting to get lively, this one. It's just starting to get a little bit tasty. It's the first bit of frustration, the first bit of fire between these two. Normally by now they'd be scratching and biting and doing whatever they can to get under the skin of the opposition. But so far it's been, I think the pace of it's been a reflection of that. There hasn't been time for any of the niggle. As
here
Sherwood
goes
again.
Sherwood now, all taken nicely by Dunn, who cuts him in half. So a bit of a payback there, and Kevell gets that arm free. Rush taking it down to ground now as they come to the back. And it's going to be a penalty to Merewether Carlton, holding on to the ball.
Here we go,
Tonks
it's on here.
Not happy with the
treatment
front row
of,
there,
yeah.
Waller.
Well, that's the first penalty we've seen at the ruck so far, so it's an interesting one. Wanderers looked like the ball was at the back there, but good counter-rucking from Merewether Carlton. Des Gilbert wasn't happy with where his hands were positioned, and it's a pressure relieving.
Could have gone either way, but Des Gilbert has been very good at refereeing the game so far. I feel he's let it flow. The game's been back and forward, so...
Yeah, he certainly hasn't blown the P out of the whistle, has he? He's let it be a contest at the breakdown. And I think that's what both teams are after. As long as guys aren't coming in from the side and getting about that way, if there's two guys generally competing for the pill, may the strongest man win.
Yeah, so under 5 minutes remaining now in the first half here at number 2 Sports Ground. As Billy Dunn takes the line out, you feel the Merewether Carlton side need to put some points on the board. They've been down here a lot. As they try and get the maul going upfield, they're going to have to do something with it, and they do, taking it forward. This is better from the Carlton as they're driven back now. It's Island with it. Island goes to ground. Gilmore now. And that's a good short border back at Galupo. He hasn't got support. There's no one there. As they come through now, Rongakia and Rahui. Rahui gets the ball on his foot, but Tuvi, the young whippet, he gets the ball. He dances around and he makes a clean break. Gets the ball in the air. Sherwood's there, so it could be trouble still. Simmons with the ball. Simmons now gets it to Murch. Murch with open space in front of him as Mac Ray comes across. He beats Mac Ray. Gets the ball away now and gets the ball inside to Simmons, and Simmons puts the ball down on the far side.
Helter stuff again. It looked like Simmons just overran him in that first instance. Denny Murch did the good work. He was down that left touch time. He had a look on the inside, went to pass it, and Simmons had just slightly overran it. He found Katoa, who did well to go to ground, but then play just broke down that last second. We'll see it here. Simmons, nice little outside ball to Murch. He pins the ears back and away. He goes, he gets past Island and Mac Ray. Sam Gilmore comes across, does good work. Katoa goes to ground, but then that little inside ball just didn't go to hand, and again a let off there for Merewether Carlton.
Yeah, Simmons, just as you said, overran the play. Unlucky for the Wanderers, I guess. It was good end-to-end stuff, wasn't it? Well done by Tuvi as well before that to beat a couple of players and be first to the ball when we thought, you know, Rahui could have even scored himself, but Tuvi, the young Merewether Carlton winger, he absolutely can motor, can't he?
Well, on grand final day, they have a 100-metre sprint here to determine who the fastest player in the NHRU is. And if Merewether Carlton aren't playing this year, I'm backing him.
Or McRae picks it up from the back. Could be trouble as the Wanderers come over. No, they've consolidated the ball, the Merewether Carlton side. It's Gilmore with it. Gilmore gets the ball downfield. Doesn't find touch. Oh, it does off Murch. Murch takes the ball in. I thought he might have taken the ball out. There's trouble here now. Rahui turned back on the inside.
Plenty of defenders are there for Merewether Carlton.
Yeah, good chase by the Carlton side. Nice straight line. And now Wanderers in a good position to attack, and it's going to be a penalty for holding on again.
That's 3 straight to Merewether Carlton now. It's penalty count for mine is 5-2. Just ill discipline costing Wanderers when they're in another good opportunity to mount some pressure.
So Gilmore now with it. There's less than a minute remaining. Ball finds touch, 40 out. So this will be the last play here for Merewether. They haven't put points on, so very, very good defence by the Wanderers and good options getting the ball out of trouble when they have to. As Dunn with the ball. Looks like Sean Rich will be the go-to man. No, they go to the back. And Ireland juggles it, and nice work by Kevill getting up there and spoiling it. Yes,
did enough to get his hand up, and that was enough to spill it. As young Jackson Walsh makes a hole.
Jackson Walsh.
He's got Cal McDonald on the outside.
Gets it to McDonald.
They won't
McDonald's
catch
going
him.
to go
Tuvi's
all the
gonna
way.
have to be very
Tuvi misses him, and McDonald scores a try.
Well done, Jackson Walsh. Yeah, I think it's only his first or second grade and first grade. You normally, as a hooker, by the end of that 40 minutes, you're starting to suck him in. You're starting to look to the sideline, wondering when half-time's coming. No way. He said, give me the ball, and he burst through that hole, and he was away. And I'll tell you what, Cal McDonald did well to catch up to him.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, his eyes would have absolutely lit up, wouldn't they, the big hooker, Walsh.
Yeah, he's a back rower, obviously back rower who was converted to the front row in the last couple of weeks. His brother may have got all the headlines, Blake Walsh, as we look at it here.
Now. Nice ball on the inside, and look at McDonald just streaks away. Tuvi, I think, dived probably a little bit too early, but he kind of had to because McDonald's momentum probably would have taken him over for there, Jimmy.
Yeah, he went for the ankle tap and didn't quite get enough of the ankle, and Cal McDonald, when he's in open space, he's another one that can really motor. But back to the young boy Walsh, his younger brother Blake Walsh was the one who's got all the headlines the last couple of weeks. 19-year-old picked for New South Wales country out of the under-20 system. But yeah, young Jackson showed, hey, listen, buddy, get off the Herald's back page for a couple of weeks. Give me a bit of time.
You might have to get a photo of him for tomorrow, Jimmy. I'd like to see that as we go now to half-time. The score, Wanderers 15, Merewether Carlton 0 here at number 2 at round 6 for the greater NHRU competition. We'll take a quick break and we'll be back with you shortly.
At the Greater, we're always on your side. We've got this winning lineup of products and services ready to get you over the line. To kick goals for your finances, contact the Greater. Proudly supporting Newcastle and Hunter Rugby Union.
Australia's leading sports organisations have made a pledge to tackle youth binge drinking.
Now when you're watching your favourite sports, like football,
Swimming, basketball,
Netball,
and athletics.
you'll see this logo.
it's all about coming together to have a positive influence on our drinking culture.
We're strong enough to say enough.
And you can be too.
Back your judgment.
Stand up for what you believe in.
Be the influence.
Doc's Pharmacies were established in 1988. We've been serving the Novocastrian community for over 25 years. Doc's MegaSafe Chemist is the only chemist in Newcastle open 16 hours a day. We open from 8 a.m. in the morning till midnight, 7 days a week.
We have 3 full-time pharmacists employed, plus we have 2 intern pharmacists. So there's always more than one pharmacist here to answer any questions that you may have.
We have over 16,000 lines in stock at any one time, so we have a huge range of products always available.
Within a 5-kilometre radius, we have a free delivery service.
We offer free personal health checks, prescription reminder services.
We do free blood pressure checks every day. We've got the widest range of stock, and anything we don't have, we can get for you the next day.
For more information on any of the services that we offer, please visit our website or like us on Facebook. Doc's MegaSafe Chemist is on the ground floor in Market Town Shopping Centre next to Woolworths.
Here's your story, let's begin. The water's fine, come on, dive in. The future's here, it's right before your eyes. Step by step, you're on your way. Welcome to a brighter day. Don't you know it feels good to be alive? You could be larger than life, bigger than the world, living out the hopes and dreams of every boy and every girl. You could fly higher than the sky, shine brighter than the stars. You could have all you ever wanted, shoot the moon and reach for Mars. You know you could.
Real Guys, Real Sport, Bar TV.
Welcome back, everyone, for Bar TV Sports. We've got a special guest with us right now, former captain of Merewether Carlton, Mick Gill. How are you, Mick?
Yeah, good, mate. Just enjoying the local derby, mate.
How's retirement?
Not very good, mate. I'm not enjoying it.
Are you itching to get out there?
Yeah, days like this, mate, I am. But body-wise, I'm not missing it. But days like this, mate, yeah, I'm really missing it.
So talk our viewers out there who don't understand this rivalry, talk them through a game day for you playing against the Wanderers.
Well, mate, when I was a kid, the first song I could sing was the Green song, and I think I was about 3 or 4. And we watched a fair bit of rugby and then Winfield Cup in those days, and the first team I hated was Wanderers. But, mate, yeah, it's just, you know, born and bred in Merewether, mate, and Merewether family, and, yeah, I learned to appreciate this rivalry and the whole thing that goes with it at an early age, mate.
Is it true that you could spell Merewether Carlton before you could spell mum?
No, I still can't spell, mate.
Very good, very good. So what else is happening? Are you keeping involved with the club at all?
Mate, doing a little bit of spot training, mate. Turning up, I don't know, every 3 or 4 weeks.
So
mate,
like
doing
when
a
you
session.
used to play?
Yeah, just when I want.
Yeah, fair enough.
No, I'll ring Mick Dan or Jace Toven and say I'm free from my family life, and yeah, I'll go down and do a session with the boys, mate.
So you started off your career as a ball-playing 5'8" and ended up as an even better ball-playing hooker. Was that something that was always in the plan for you?
I never let go of my ball skills, mate. I always considered myself a 5'8". didn't matter what the number on my back was, mate. But yeah, mate, I had those. I was a ball player growing up, mate, so yeah.
Very good. As we go now to our TV screens, we thank Mick for joining us at half-time. Good to have you, Mick. Always a pleasure. And go enjoy the hill.
I'll enjoy the hill, mate, on my own.
I can't hear you from up here.
It's been a very quiet sledging-a-thon, that's for sure. Cheers,
Very
Ruff.
good. No worries. Thanks, Mike Gill, for coming in. As we go now, back at Galupo with the ball. Of course, this rivalry here at number 2 Sports Ground. And here we go for the second half, and it's kicked nicely down the ground, and Ham getting the ball, taking it forward. Not much doing. There's the ball at the back. Now taken forward here is Waller. Good run there by the front rower.
Both young front rowers have gone well in this first half for Wanderers, haven't they?
Yeah,
Jackson Walsh made that big play, and Waller's trucked it up quite regularly.
Simmons, the man who kicked it there.
Ooh,
Bad mistake there by
Nash.
Corey Nash. He has got a mistake in him, fair play. And that was one that he probably won't be too happy about.
No, and certainly not what Merewether Carlton would have been after. I imagine Jason Toby would have got him in at half time and said, "Keep believing in yourselves. We're not out of this. We've still, we need to score next. Keep your heads up. Keep working away."
Well, taken nicely there by Rich. So let off there for Merewether Carlton. Looks like Crichton is on the field. Crichton gets the ball downfield, but Murch positions himself nicely. He's had a good half here, Murch, and Murch takes the ball forward. Nice run by Dan Murch. And stepping there was Katoa. So Katoa again coming in to find work, and Ham taking it forward. He's had a fairly quiet first half by his standards. And now Waller taking the ball forward. He's made a half break, gets the ball loose. Fletcher gets it wide. Now Rush taking the ball, and again loose arms. Fletcher with it again. Now Hovel taking the ball back in, and he only knows one way, and that's forward. As they go now short side. Rahui back inside to Fletcher. Fletcher just dropping the ball. Merewether Carlton haven't come up with it. No, Rush picks it up. And they take the ball back now. Walsh. He had a very good first half, did Walsh. Katoa calling for it, but they go short side to Rush. Rush taken nicely, though.
They're just hanging on here, Merewether Carlton, aren't they? They're just hanging on.
This is building here by Wanderers. This is better play, more structured by the two Blues than we saw in the first half. And the ball comes out to Kevill, pushes the pass and does well there. Hovel taking it into contact.
Yeah, just got caught going a little bit sideways there, Colin Hovel. Need to go a bit straighter. Good quick hands.
Here we go,
Rush.
quick hands.
Ooh,
Oh, Corey Nash just
had to go. Had to make it, didn't he? If he didn't get a hand to that, then it was in the corner. Just notice that one change. Blake Crichton and this guy's country fly half on it. Looks like
Kent
inside
Hatchwell.
centre. Yeah, for Kent Hatchwell. So,
which is a surprise for me because Kent, he did some good work in defence. There may be a little injury problem there for Hatchwell.
Yeah, you would think certainly they're different players, aren't they? Kent's very direct, up in your face, very strong front-on defender, whereas Blake's got that sleight of hand, can beat a man, and defensively probably not quite, certainly not strong front-on. So it'll be interesting to see whether that changes the way Wanderers attack. They have sent a lot of traffic through that midfield, and they've had quite a bit of joy on the edges as well.
Yeah, so Katoa in close to the action. It looks like Rongakia may have gone to the wing in the green headgear. So a little set move here maybe for the Wanderers side as they have bodies in motion. No, Katoa gets a flat ball and Katoa's still going. Katoa, he's come out the other side and Katoa has scored a try.
And he went straight through Blake Crichton too, the change we made. He was the one that missed that first tackle. Got a hand on him, but certainly not enough. He went to ground, but Katoa showed great leg drive, got up and away he went. That could be the try that breaks not just the hearts of Merewether Carlton, but it might break their will.
Yes, definitely, and he just kept going, didn't he? He wanted to get through, and he got up, and desperation didn't help Merewether Carlton as Kevill flicks the ball through his legs, and it was a nothing play, really, and he gets back to his feet, And just jumper grabbing there, Crichton, he won't be happy with that. That was a very poor effort by the country player.
It was Barkalupo, I think, was the first one he got under, and then, it looked like he was on the ground. All they had to do was get a shoulder on him and dive on him, but they didn't. They just went to grab him with their hands, and he said, no, thank you, I'm up again, and off I went, and a great reward for what's been a pretty good half by him. As we said, he's wearing number, I think it's 14 on his back, but he's popped up everywhere. He's been, he's filled in at half-back, he's played inside centre. That time he was standing, I think, at inside centre. So he's been obviously given a roving role, and it's working for them.
So Simmons now with the kick. Hits it, and hits it well. So the score now 22-0 to the 2 Blues. So this is looking very dangerous now for the Merewether Carlton side. We do know that they are a side that never gives up, and we've seen that instilled in them over the last couple of years. So if they're going to do something, they have to dig in and start doing it pretty quickly. As the ball kicked downfield, they go to the right side this time. McDonald gets it nicely, and it's kicked downfield, and they'll look to counter, and they do too if he does that. Ernst now to Rouse. There's a wall of Blue defenders. It's been charged down, and there's Walsh with the ball. I thought he may have got one away, but he didn't, and Cavill knocks the ball on. And that was unlucky there. The Wanderers now are really building to maybe a big score here, Jimmy.
Yeah, they do. They look ominous, don't they? And that's the second pass we've seen Kevill put down when he's been in open space, and you certainly don't see that very often. But they look a bit rattled here, Merewether Carlton. Defensively, they're at 6s and 7s, and Wanderers are seemingly making inroads and holes at will. So very testing time. This not just for their physical capabilities the next couple of minutes, but their mental capacity as well. As we see here, that kick charged down from young Rouse. From there, it was stacks on for Wanderers. They had numbers everywhere. Blair Rush, a nice ball to Kevill, but he just had that little bit of a Bo Peep. He thought, what am I going to do with this before he got in those big mitts of his, and it went to ground. I think there'll be a lot of pressure come from this scrum. I think Wanderers can smell a kill here, and I think they'll pour a heap into this scrum as Dan Murch is down and receiving some attention. I'm not surprised. He's another, for a winger, he's got through a power of work as well.
Yeah, he's been heavily involved, hasn't he? And they seem to play to his side as well. It was actually Walsh.
Yeah, it was Jackson Walsh. Don't let Danny Murch hear that.
They do look the same.
They do have that 5-day growth, but there's about probably 20 kilos difference, I would suggest.
I was going to say Murch is probably a little bit slighter. I don't think he'd do too well. He's too pretty for the front row.
No, indeed. But he can fly. But as we said, Bill Coffey waiting in the wings. He's Newcastle representative and a real big power player. But on the evidence what we've seen today, it's going to be very hard for him to push his way in front of both these wingers.
Yeah, definitely. And Ernst drops it
the wheels
at the
are
back
falling
of
off.
the scrum. Not happy is Ernst. He has a bit of a chat to Ham, but if anything, he's filthy.
With himself,
not at the
no
Wanderers,
doubt.
filthy at himself. Yes, that's right.
Yeah, you certainly don't see Gareth Ernst make mistakes like that very often at all. I think that was just probably a little breakdown of communication there between him and Matt Ray. He'd sort of taken off before Matt Ray
wasn't really expecting
had
it.
delivered him the ball. So again, this is a real opportunity for Wanderers to put on another set play here. It looks like Rokakia has gone to first receiver, and Simmons is just in his hip pocket. So no doubts there'll be some sort of sweeping backline play, some sort of cutout number here. My head's normally buried in the scrum at this time of proceedings, so I watch with interest what's going to happen here.
I think Katoa's the go-to man, and it looks like they may go blindside. No, they don't. But Simmons with the ball, bodies in motion, and here he is, Katoa, the try scorer.
Yeah, back on the inside. They read that pretty well, Merewether Carlton.
Yeah, it was a nothing play, really. Didn't really play at the line as the ball comes out. Oh, good run and good defence there by Merewether Carlton, and Cavill with the ball now. We haven't seen him with the ball in hand too much, apart from a couple of drop balls maybe, but here they go now to Katoa. He puts a little goose step on, and Rahui with it now. Rahui getting around one, but scrambling well, the Merewether Carlton defence.
Yeah, good clean out there by young Hefferon. They've got numbers here on the right. Wanderers, they need some quick ball. The ball's at the back now.
Too flat though, I think the Wanderers, as Fletcher gets it, they're just not set deep enough. They're still a little bit disorganised, Jimmy. With McDonald with it now, Simmons is coming around. He bumps one off, and he bumps another off. This is good play here by McDonald as he keeps going forward. Of course, McDonald originally hailing from Nelson Bay.
Yeah, just been pinged there for holding on, it seems. I didn't actually see him go to ground there, but yeah, he's a real powerhouse. He doesn't look to be that strong, does he? He's all legs, really, isn't he, Cal McDonald?
Something that's really come out in his game over the last 2 years, isn't it?
He's very strong. This is, I think, his third season at Wanderers. He had a stint over over in Belgium, played a lot of footy over in Belgium, and of course was part of that Merewether Carlton undefeated team of 2011. There was him and Bill Coffey, who both made the move across from Merewether Carlton to Wanderers, and of course Bill Coffey is their strength and conditioning coach as well, so he's not just a player, he's heavily involved in everything they do.
He's a full-time employee.
I'm not sure about that, but you often see him riding around in the Wanderers van. He does spend a lot of time at the Wanderers gym, the factory as they call it.
The Performance Factory.
Factory.
Have you been getting yourself in there, Jimmy?
I've driven past it, mate. I haven't actually had the pleasure of stepping foot in there. As we see a couple of changes here, Mac Ray comes off with what looks like a shoulder injury.
Come off as well.
So one I think purely is purely injury. Mac Ray comes off with a bung shoulder, and I suspect the second one is because they need to chase the game now, Merewether Carlton. If they're to have any hope, they need to start playing a bit of footy.
And that's Jay Strawn, is it? Come on.
Yeah, it certainly looks like Jay Strawn in the black headgear.
So that or a front rower.
He might be wearing headgear for a couple other for a different reason today. I think you suggested in the pre-game, but they certainly need to hit back.
Wearing headgear, Jimmy.
They need to hit back and hit back fast.
There's the headgear. Crichton's got the headgear on. Strawn. That's Crichton at first receiver, and Strawn's outside. Strawn's a little bit stockier, and there he is. He's cut out, probably a good thing, and Rouse taking the ball forward. He's been put under a lot of pressure today, Rouse. Came in with high expectations from the young 17-year-old, and Ham taking the ball forward. He's put his hand up in this second half, hasn't he, Ham?
Yeah, he's got through a power of work. You don't see everything he does because he's so effective. He plays like another second row. There's
trouble here, though.
Rahui does
Murch
a nice
is on
little
the
dance.
outside. Murch, just pops off that big chest of his.
He had to juggle. He did well in the end to pull it in, but it looks like Merewether Carlton are all over this. The ball's out the back.
Tonks with it. Tonks, he gets it away. Island with it, gets it to Ernst, kicking ahead. Billy Dunn maybe doesn't have the legs there, the young hooker. But Kevil does well to get the ball, and here they go, the Wanderers. This is a good run. I tell you what, they've been talking about his brother, as you mentioned, but they'll be talking about him, Jimmy. As the ball comes out now to Ham, Ham pops a ball to Fletcher, and Fletcher goes forward. Now Kevil with it. This could be trouble. Gets the arm free.
Big Davey Waller, the other prop.
Here he goes, Waller. Gets the ball to Rush. He's got support. Dummies. He ruins it. Does he, Rahui? Gets the ball. He bombed a certain try there. They
just got to get it back. They've got numbers on the right here, Wanderers. They just need the pill, but it's coming out slowly.
And McDonald looks like he's getting set, but no, the Wanderers drive forward. Sherwood now goes to McDonald. They've got numbers. McDonald goes himself, pops it. Now to Murch, and Murch scores for the Wanderers.
Yeah, it looked like they'd crewed it there when Big Blair rushed through the dummy on the outside and took it on himself. He got hailed down, but they showed good composure, some good patience there. They could have easily just went for the miracle pass or the miracle ball, and that's what they did in the first half, to be fair. That's what they were guilty of. Since half-time, they've played a lot more measured. They've realised that if they keep the ball, patience will win in the end, and they were rewarded there. A great little snipe, and the way Murch just ducked through that hole. Good finish to what was a great 50-metre movement.
Yeah, well-deserved try for Murch, and he's playing on the left wing, and he's come all the way around.
We see Big Blair rush there, he dummied.
Could have given that. And
Blake Crichton came across. He got the one arm up, but it gave enough time for Merewether Carlton to get back in cover. But Wanderers had numbers there. They poured through. Although the ball was still a little bit slow to come out there, they had to forage for it. Luke Sherwood, once he got his hands on the ball, they always had numbers on the right. And it was a case of just wearing them down. And we have a look here. McDonald takes it up again. He draws a couple of defenders. But they managed to get the ball back. And from there, it was just a little opening. And Murch scurried his way through.
Yeah, good try there by the left winger, Murch. Very happy with that one. As we look at Simmons on camera now, setting his kick. So number 2 Sports Ground is opening up now with points galore here. It could be a big score now with the Merewether Carlton side. Look like they've lost that spring in their step that they came out in the first half with. And the game just getting away from them now. As Simmons makes no mistake of that, so he's had a good day with the boot. The only blemish was that one from the sideline. The score 29-0. So Merewether Carlton yet to score here, which just shows, the Wanderers have added that steel that you spoke about over the last couple of weeks to their defensive line, Jimmy.
Yeah, they have. And speaking to their coaching staff this week, although they'd won 4 from 4, they hadn't really been happy with the way they played. They hadn't put together an 80-minute performance. I don't think this has quite been 80 minutes, but certainly the second half has been the best half of football I've seen from them so far this season.
Yeah, definitely, and they're really confident too, working through some set pieces, some set plays as well. So, you know, when your team's high on confidence, the set plays come out, and they've been coming off. So credit to them as well for trying some different things today. As we now go to Merewether Carlton's line out. Goes up to Rich off the top. Ernst gets the ball. Crichton with it. Crichton dances back towards his forwards, trying to do something on his own here. So Strawn calling for it now, and Strawn tries to bullock his way through there. The outside centre, of course, playing halfback or covering a number of positions in the countryside. And here's now Rouse. Rouse stepping on the inside. He's made a little break. Good on his feet is Rouse. That's a good positive sign from the young fullback.
Yeah, certainly hasn't been overawed by this, has he? He certainly looks every bit of first grader in the making. Probably do a little bit of weight in those legs of his, but he's got plenty of speed to burn.
Yes, and they've taken the ball off their feet. There, the Wanderers players, Rahui. He knows he's done it. Shakes his head. The crowd, though, not agreeing with referee Des Gilbert.
Yeah, one of those 50-50 ones. He had his hands on the ball. Was he still on his feet? Obviously not.
On his feet, he was on his knees.
We see down here on the sideline too, Andrew Tuala and young Blake Jackson warming up as well. So they might be about to bring on the heavy artillery here, Wanderers, just to really put the final nail in the coffin.
So we see now Merewether Carlton, good attacking opportunity. First good attacking opportunity of the half. To our viewers out there. Oh, doesn't look like that was straight. Des Gilbert says play on.
A little bit of sympathy there perhaps from Des. Ball at the back there.
So Tonks with it, controlling it nicely. Maybe offside there, Heffron. As they take it forward ever so slowly, the Merewether Carlton side, and Ernst grabs the ball. Short ball all up nicely on Strawn there, but he's still going. Oh, he's taken heavily there. Just slammed on his back. And they go right to Appy. Appy dancing, reminiscing of those centre days down in Melbourne as Ernst. A little bit of trouble. He kicks it. I don't know why he's done that, but it might have paid off for him as he chases it down and he scores. That's a try there to Ernst.
Yeah, great little bit of ingenuity there. They needed something, and it was their captain that provided Merewether Carlton. 29-25 with 24 to go. There's still plenty of time, but you'd think they're going to have to score again straight away. But certainly Blake Crichton and Jay Strawn coming, they've got a little bit more spark. They seem to have a little bit more football in them once they do get their hands on the ball.
Yes, definitely 29-5 here. Kick to come. It'll be interesting to see who gets the kicking tee. Looks like Blake Crichton will be taking over the kicking duties from Gilmore as we look at the replay.
I would like to have another look at this, whether he actually gets his hand to ground here. He chips forward through Ernst. It takes a bad bounce. Again, he gets past the attempted cover of... we're never going to know, but
no
yeah,
questions.
from on, he's probably got enough.
No questions, Jimmy.
He's an honest character, Gareth Ernst. I wouldn't think he'd claim
He's a
something that
halfback,
wasn't
they're
his.
all honest.
Yeah, no, he's certainly done enough. There's certainly no one in the Wanderers camp complaining about that, so fair play to him.
I thought it was the wrong option, to put that little grubber through. I thought maybe should have kept it in hands, as we see Crichton now lining up to kick the ball. Ernst in back play, getting a bit of an attention to a shoulder injury maybe. So we see Crichton. Let's see if he can slot this one over. He does. Good under pressure, Crichton. So the score now 29-7, and Merewether Carlton have to get back up the Wanderers half of the field to make a game of this now, Jimmy.
Yeah, I think that try might just be the action that Wanderers needed to spark their bench into gear. I'd be very surprised if they don't bring some fresh legs on here just to make sure this doesn't get closer than it has to be.
As Tuala on the sideline warming up.
Yeah, him and Blake Walsh, both those front rows warming up. So change pending, you would suspect.
So Ernst takes that one. Crichton running onto it. Kick downfield. It's a good one, and Murch takes it. Calls out, not looking to counter-attack, just looking to maybe consolidate the lead at this point in time, Jimmy.
Yeah, even just the chase there from from Wanderers off that kick-off. It wasn't as with the same sort of energy or purpose as they had early in the piece. So, as we suspected, Dave Waller comes off. Yeah, great round of applause for him.
Game.
Well deserved.
Good game by the young prop forward. As Simmons with the ball now, cuts out Rahui with it. Rahui's got space. Rahui gets around one. Rahui taken down now. And they go short side to McDonald. McDonald met well there by one of the Island brothers. Pat, I think it was.
Yeah, those two have certainly worked hard all day, haven't they?
They've been everywhere. Nice ball on the inside there to Fletcher. And Fletcher, he's been solid all day, Fletcher. He's probably my favourite player here for the Wanderers. Is now Simmons with it, dancing. Tries to get around big Appy, but Appy swallows him up. As they go now, Murch coming in looking for work. Good run by Murch as the ball ripped free by Sean Rich, though. Knocked on.
Fell fortuitously into the hands of one of the Wanderers as Kevel gets that big fend out, rolls through one tackle. They're building to the right. They're coming around the corner here, Wanderers.
They go right, but no. Des Gilbert sees a knock on. Unlucky. And Kevel, again, having handling issues today.
Yeah, I'm not sure it was him or Luke Sherwood at the back there. Might have just had another little look, but certainly wasn't presented on a platter for halfback. He's had a mixed game today, Luke Sherwood. He copped a knock on that shoulder early, made a couple of big tackles. Just his service hasn't been as crisp as it has in the past. I think that may be due to the way Merewether Carlton certainly attacked that breakdown as well.
Yeah, definitely. We've said it before on our Bar TV coverage. Sherwood, he just hits like an extra forward, doesn't he? And as we look here to have a look where that mistake was, it was just Sherwood not controlling the ball at the back there.
I think it might have taken a little bounce off Hobble. Hobble was there bridging or waiting at the back of that ruck, and the ball just sort of struck his foot. And from there, it became a good scrum. Blake Walsh, as soon as he comes on, gets the Greens going backwards.
Yeah, they take the ball nicely, though, Green. They get themselves out of trouble. All the ball, Scrappy and Tonks comes up with it somehow. I'm not quite sure what went on there. I thought it might have been a knock on.
Looks like Wanderers. They got him up in the air.
They're going forward, though, the Greens. It looks like they've gone to ground. They've got the ball back there. Merewether and Ernst looking for it. Puts the little chip over the top. Kevel comes across nicely, but he's going to call a penalty, Gilbert. Looks like it may have been offside. Yes, he's called offside, Gilbert. It would have been trouble there by the Wanderers with Kevel looking dangerous. He had his arms free. But they take the quick tap. Nash has heaps of space out wide, and Nash puts the kick forward, and it's a terrible kick straight into the arms of Simmons. And Simmons kicks the ball downfield, and Ireland
puts a bit of banana on it, and he did well there, Pat Ireland, to bring that in. He trucks it back at 100 miles an hour.
The little off break it was, I think, Jimmy. As the ball goes short side, Ernst gives it to Nash, and Nash puts a foot out. So Merewether Carlton just maybe trying to do a little bit too much here, Jimmy.
Well, it's that time of the game. I guess they have to, don't they? They're still at 22 points in arrears with 90 minutes to go. But they have a couple of times now they've caught Wanderers napping. That was a quick tap, which they didn't respond to very quickly. We've got another change here. Number 20 coming on for young Heffron, who's he's done a power of work, particularly in defence. He's one of those number 7s you don't see very often. He doesn't stand out like a hooper who does so much running with the ball. He's one of those guys that's on the ball in defence. Another nice round of applause for him. He's got through a power of work as Wanderers line out again, very successful at the front. He's been excellent, Jackson Miles. I'll tell you what, if you're looking for a man of the match, he certainly gets 3 points in my voting.
Yeah, definitely. He's been up there with that man there, Fletcher. As the ball now at the back, Simmons with it. He's got bodies in motion. McDonald dummies. Probably could have taken it a little bit further for mine as Murch now swarmed by Greens, but he gets through Murch. And I tell you what, he's up there for the 3-2-1 as well, Jimmy. As now Hovell taking it forward, and Hovell, good run there by the big prop forward.
Yeah, they've got another spring in their step now, Wanderers. They're lined up to the right.
Kevel with it, nice and flat, and Ham has to turn for the pass and gets past a couple of defenders there as well. So the ball at back, Kevel. A little knock on there, and he's absolutely filthy at himself, Jimmy.
Yeah, frustration starting to come through. He's getting a bit of chat too with the Merewether Carlton boys. He just someone needs to get him, put an arm around him, give him a cuddle, say, come on down, we're in front by 22 points. You've already got a couple of yellow cards this season. Let's get another one. Hamilton next week.
Bit of verbal still going on out there.
Yeah, they got Hamilton next week. They don't need him to be a spectator in the stands watching it if it is in fact his third yellow card. I'm not sure it is. I'm guessing that I missed the first couple of rounds, but I know he's certainly got one.
I know he's definitely got the one that we covered here for Bar TV Sports. Of course, if you're listening out there on Twitter, at Bar TV Sports, hashtag Bar TV Sports to get in the game as well. Of course, for the greater NHRU competition. This is a good scrum by Wanderers. Mac Ray's going to have to pick the ball up. Ball scrappy at the back. Ernst getting it slowly. So Strawn with it now, getting a ball to Nash, who comes in, joins to good effect, and the leg drive is strong, and he takes them over the 40-metre line. So Merewether Carlton still with the ball. Mac Ray has left the field. Oh, good hit there. Billy Dunn upended there, the young hooker.
Yeah, Blake Walsh was involved, but I don't think he was the main defender there. It was Ben Ham. Ben Ham hit him with absolutely everything.
I tell you what, that is a bit of a square up for earlier on, I think. And
they could call him...
Crichton, Fletcher to the task there, and Crichton tries a little chip over the top. Now Murch with the ball. Murch gets a little bit of shoulder contact there. I think there might be a bit of trouble if Gilbert sees it. Oh, he's dropped the ball there. This is going to be big trouble here for Merewether Carlton.
They just need to get the ball back.
So they just need to get the ball wide. Katoa does that. Hovel, nice bounce for Hovel. Gets a ball over the top. Kevill's out there as they come around, and Rangatoa gets the ball on the bounce. Is he going to get there? No, he's not. The man in the green headgear is pulled down. Good scrambling there by Merewether Carlton.
Yeah, you thought Wanderers would score for all money there. They just needed one of those passes to go to him, but all of them went to ground or behind. But still, they got a great opportunity, good leg drive. They're only a metre or so out. Can Merewether Carlton hang on?
It's going to be a penalty, and so this could be trouble here as they take the quick tap through Katoa. Oh, Katoa's cleaned out. He didn't take the tap on the mark, I think, so Gilbert is asking him to take it back.
I'd take the scrum here if I was Wanderers. Let's get a push over. Let's really put them under the cosh. No, they take the tap
take the quick tap in here. And again, not on the mark. Des Gilbert, very thorough in his marking, isn't he?
And here comes big Blake Walsh.
Good
trucks
run
it up.
there by the young front rower. Walsh taking off his brother, and he's called a penalty. There's going to be...
Blair Rush here. He's done something. He's responded. He doesn't like a bit of treatment he's got from Appy. Some words being exchanged, a bit of push and shove.
Appy not happy at all.
If I was the Wanderers bench, there'd be a little bit of concern here. I'd be sending the message out, boys, keep your cool. 22 points in front. Yes. Hamilton next week. Let's not go do something stupid that we'll regret come 6 o'clock this afternoon when we're enjoying a refreshing ale and talking about the victory that was.
And Gilbert having a chat now to Sherwood, just saying, calm your troops down because I'm going to get my cards out, and it looks like it could be a bit of trouble here, Jimmy.
Yeah, Blair Rush being talked to. There's no doubt about that. I'd suggest he's stern words.
He's going to his pocket, Jimmy.
The yellow
He's
card.
given the yellow. I'm not sure what that was entirely for. If we can maybe get a replay on that one from the Bar TV producer. Doing a bang-up job for us again today. As we look here, I don't know.
He pulled out there by Billy Dunn. He's got up, responded.
He's done something like here to Ireland on your screen, who's still on the ground. Yeah. So he may have just given him a bit of a cheeky little slap or something. I don't know, but Merewether Carlton lose that line out anyway. No, they've come back over the top, and ball's out wide now, and Crichton steps off his left foot, running into numbers there. Ernst with the ball. Is going to be a penalty, so Wanderers here are going to have to really watch themselves, Jimmy. They could.
Yeah, this could be just the opening that they needed.
He's marched them here. Des Gilbert, quick tap taken by Strawn, was it? No, Des Gilbert says, hold on a minute, Jay. As they go for the line.
That's 5 straight penalties, I think, to the green. So if they're going to get an opportunity now, it's it. A man down, Wanderers, and they're certainly on the back pedal in terms of possession. And momentum now, given they were all over Merewether Carlton 2 minutes ago, and a couple of penalties, and all of a sudden they lose a man. They've been marched up the field 50 metres.
So Dunn with the ball now. They go to the back again. Good throw there by the hooker. Crichton with it, gives it to Strawn early, and here comes the young fullback coming around Rouse. Little flick pass to Tuvey. Good interchanging of passes there, but the young winger might have been held up. No, he's got the ball back nicely, and Garner. Now short pass there to Ireland.
Good tackle.
Yeah, nice defence there. Met by a wall of Wanderers. Ernst with it, calling for it is Ireland. He's got Appy outside him. But he's going to take it in himself, just playing, getting a little bit of width, trying to suck in the Wanderers, but they're not committing to the breakdown. So Crichton again with a little kick, and it's unlucky there for Nash.
Yeah, everyone sort of looked and watched and waited that to bounce, didn't they? He didn't really attack at the fullback. Katoa, he was playing on the right wing. He was very deep. He sort of let it bounce, and Nash coming through also didn't really make an aggressive play at it. Looks like we've got another change coming in here. Ben Christensen and Andrew Tuala both go on. And this, I'm sure you'll get a
standing
rousing report.
ovation. He should. The young hooker from Wanderers, he's played an absolutely amazing match. And so has Hovell. I mean, the whole Wanderers pack has been, very, very impressive considering that they didn't have their starting front row anyway.
And speaking of their coaching staff during the week, that's where they targeted the area where they'd have to dominate.
So here's Walsh now.
Oh,
and this is
great
a
run.
good run by Walsh. I think he's only just turned 18, has he?
19, I think. He's just he's obviously seen what his brother's done the first half, and he thought, I better get out there and do something myself. As Rahui makes a break down the right. He comes back inside, well handled there by Murch.
Yeah, nice
on his
work there
fingertips.
by Murch.
Goes to ground. He's got to get this back there now. They're swarmed in, Merewether Carlton.
He's holding on to it, is he?
He's done particularly
I don't
well
know.
there.
The touch judge hasn't said anything, but the ball comes out and met well by the Greens. So there's 30 minutes gone now.
Tuala, a couple of passes wide in a pod with Ben Christensen. He hits him now.
Hit him
just a little bit high,
too
exposed
flat.
his ribs, but he manages to get the ball back. Again, they're just a little bit disorganised here. Katoa goes to short side. Cal McDonald takes it under his wing.
A nice run there by McDonald as Ham lining up for it. The Merewether Carlton look to line him up, and that's a good run there by Ham. He's tough as teak. He's a country boy. They breed him like that out there as Cavill gets the ball away to Walsh. Nice ball by Cavill, and Walsh takes them up the field. Misses Cavill. Katoa now. Simmons puts on the afterburners, tries to get through, and stolen there by Crichton. Nice work by the country fly half.
You've got numbers here on the... If they let the ball sing, Merewether Carlton, there's only a couple of defenders out here on Merewether Carlton's right side, but they're slow out.
Oh, they're
the ball
slow,
pops.
and Sherwood comes up with it, but it's a penalty. I don't know about that one, Jimmy. I thought it was all
I think
right.
he's going to go to his... He could go to his pocket here again.
He's given the captain a card. Yellow card straight away to McDonald, sorry it is. So the Wanderers now down to 13 men here at number 2 Sports Ground. In what can only be described as a professional foul.
You would think so. So they're going to be playing the next 5 minutes, by my calculations, with 13 men, and the last 4 or so minutes of the game with 14. So Merewether Carlton, if ever they needed the door open, it's been certainly not just prized open, it's been kicked open by the all discipline there from Wanderers as they go to the back and they win that ball.
Cavill with it now. Cavill bumps off one, bumps off. Herntz holds on for dear life. And
Quick
they've
ball,
got
yeah,
numbers
they got numbers
here. I don't know how they've got numbers. They're a man down as Bakaglupo just knocks it forward there.
Yeah, I just thought the Merewether Carlton Blacks were sort of loitering. I know they didn't interfere with that play there, but I guess you could have mounted a case for them being offside. As looks like one of the Merewether Carlton players is in a fair bit of trouble here over on the touchline. He's got 2 trainers working with him. Gareth Ernst coming over to check out how he is. I don't think the referee's been made aware of it yet because both sets of front rowers are getting ready to pack this scrum. Yeah, finally there's a bit of attention, and the doctor's down there. Wanderers doctor John Kohansky's.
So it looks like it's Appy that's the man down there, the big fellow. And Josh Gain, who's made a comeback this year, has joined the field. So nothing lost there with him going on there. He's a well-experienced prop forward.
Pretty sure he was part of that 2011 side, wasn't he, when they went through undefeated? If he wasn't, he was certainly in the squad, whether it was off the bench or in second grade that day. But yeah, he's very experienced. I was surprised when he gave it away there for a year or two, didn't he? He certainly or did he move away
come
through
back
work?
To he works on the Central Coast, and I believe he lives maybe on the Central Coast. So I think he had a year playing down there. So he's back now in green colours. I don't know if that's work commitments have done that for him or not, but he's back in green, and it looks like he's loving it. Two games today by the big man.
He'll soon get some match fitness in him if he keeps that up. As Appy looks like Appy's okay. They're still treating him on the sideline here, but he's off the field of play, so enough anyway for play to resume. very important here for Merewether Carlton. They need to produce something in the next 5 minutes. If they can get within, even within a sniff, who knows what that might do to Wanderers' mindset. But while that clock's ticking, it's on Wanderers' side at the moment, isn't it?
Yeah, for mine, there's probably about 3 minutes of injury time to be played in this second half. So there's probably about 10 minutes to go still. And that's a good scrum there to Wanderers, as you said. And now the two Blues are on the attack, and they take it to the 40-metre line.
A man down.
Kevel with it now, a man down. This is lifting stuff, and Walsh puts the ball down. So 1-0 up to his brother there. His brother, I don't think, made any mistakes, did he?
Well, let's have another look at this scrum. That scrum was won against the Food with a one-man down on Merewether Carlton.
Yeah, that's a
Wanderers
massive effort, really.
might have got him caught napping there. They probably thought it would be not much of a contest, but I imagine there'll be eyes up this time for Billy Dunn in his front row.
As we look at the replay of the said scrum we're talking about, and yeah, they just push through. The Merewether Carlton guys just
Andrew Tuala
not switching on.
Again, Andrew Tuala this time packs it at tight head, and Ben Christian goes to passes our loose head side. So Wanderers loose head, and Ben Christian goes in at hooker.
Yeah, they swap around, don't they? I noticed.
Yeah, he's struggling to hold him up, Dan Gunner. Again, power coming through, but they've taken it off at the back pad island. And they go to the short side.
Here's Rouse now. He's linked up with Turvey, and Turvey flicks the ball inside. Island cleans it up, and Island takes it forward now. Oh, he's hit hard by Fletcher. That's a good hit by Fletcher there. And Tonks lining up for it. Very, very flat. Oh, good short ball there now. Billy Dunn. He's made a break.
Good tackle
the little
there
hooker.
from
That's
Sherwood.
Good second line of defence there by Sherwood as they take the ball up the middle now. Merewether Carlton. You like to think they got numbers, and they do. So they spread the ball wide now. Back at Galupo. He doesn't use his winger there, Nash, on the outside. I thought he may have used Nash.
Yeah,
Nash with
Rahui's defence out there, his reading in defence has been outstanding today. He's taking the right option when to come in, taking the right option when to make a tackle, or to hurt his man towards the sideline. And again, he was on the money.
They go short side. Strawn stepping back towards his forwards. He's strong. He's taken down, and now Ernst tries something, and Ernst tries too much and loses the ball. Tuala cleans that ball up. Walsh with the long ball now. Kevel. And here they go, the Wanderers taking the ball up. Someone better tell that guy blue and green should never be seen with the green headgear. Rangakia. And here's Tuala. Tell you what, he didn't really wind up, and when he does, the Merewether Carlton side better be on their guard because he's an absolute beast.
They're just slowing things down here now, Wanderers, trying to chew some time off the clock.
So here's Simmons. We haven't mentioned his name too much in this second half. We haven't seen too much of Simmons. Had a great first half, though, as back at Galupo, taking the ball back, and he's taken out. So not what the Merewether Carlton side needed or wanted.
Not with this clock quickly ticking away. We mentioned some of the defence for Luke Sherwood earlier, and particularly that front on stuff. He was very close to going to South Newcastle a couple of years ago. Obviously, the association there with Darren Ford, who played for Wanderers and then for the Knights, and of course spent a lot of time at South Newcastle. They were very keen on him. They saw him as a number 9 for them, and he was very close to going, but in the end, his heart ruled over his head and over his pocket, I guess, and he stayed with Wanderers. But I think he would have been one that would certainly make a decent hooker in rugby league.
Well, is he on double at Wanderers or something, is he, Jimmy?
Mate, you're kidding.
Has Merch now with the ball, taking it forward, of course. The finest community amateur-based sport in the country is rugby. The NHRU, the greater NHRU, is Simmons with the ball, kicking it downfield.
A relieving penalty there from Wanderers. They certainly needed that. They're a bit disorganised, as you would expect, with only our 13 men as Blair Rush is preparing himself to come back into action.
Yeah, they really miss the organisation of McDonald, don't they? He plays as a second receiver, and he's not been there.
I think they just missed the heads, mate. When you got 13 against 15, there seems to be a hole everywhere. So you try and pan out rather than committing guys to the breakdown and running in numbers when you have the ball in hand. And for the defence, you become an easy target when you're one out. But so far they've absorbed it. They haven't conceded any points to this to here.
Good effort.
And
I guess the Merewether Carlton side, it probably came a little bit too late for them. The sin binnings, if it was 10 minutes down, maybe it would have been a different story.
Yeah, definitely.
The Carlton side look a little bit out on their feet at the moment. The game in the first half and most of the second half has been played at a very, very frantic rate. But it seems to have just slowed down a bit now.
Warm applause there for young Rouse, who makes his way to the sideline. Yeah, he certainly hasn't let himself down. He can walk up with his head held high as Wanderers truck this up in the middle. As Blair Rush full of running.
He's played very, very well, hasn't he? As Ham now takes it up, and that's a good run by Ham.
Yeah, he's really come into it in the second half, Ham, when the job had to be done.
Simmons now inside ball to Fletcher. Fletcher again taking it forward, not making many metres.
Just on the sideline here, looking at Appy. It looks like he's got an issue with his arm. I think he might have certainly a suspected broken arm there. As Luke Sherwood.
Sherwood's made the break, and he's met there in defence.
Jay Strawn, great tackle, but Blake Walsh picks it up.
By Strawn, Walsh picks it up, and now they look set to go left. Juggled there, but
yeah, good pick up in the end.
Too late.
I thought they had numbers on the right there, and they went the left. Wanderers. They're still a bit flat now, giving Merewether Carlton time to get their defensive line in shape.
And here comes Walsh. Walsh throws a little dummy and goes himself. I don't think anyone was falling for that dummy, but he made metres anyway. And they go again. And they look to just take up centimetre by centimetre here, the Wanderers, as they attack the Merewether Carlton line. And again, taking it from the back of this ruck. Good breakdown work, good phase play here by the Wanderers, good control. It's how they started this second half, and it looks like it's how they may finish it as they get close to the line.
Edging closer and closer here. I can see some front row.
And here they go, and is he over? Yes, he is. That's a try there in the far corner. Danny Murch for his second try. He's had a ball of the game.
He could sniff something, couldn't he? Both his tries have virtually been forwards tries, yet he's done all his best work in open play. So,
well, maybe that's how he keeps his spot, Jimmy. Maybe they'll just play with 10 wingers next week. But I tell you what, the score now 34-7. We've seen 40 minutes gone in this second half. There's a little bit of injury time to play, but I don't know if it will come into effect here.
That's certainly the sound in the background I can hear of Merewether Carlton supporters shuffling out the gate. They've seen enough for today, but they'll be back bigger and better, no doubt.
Yeah, it's back at Townsend next game for this local derby. The Wanderers, though, they've been pretty emphatic in this victory, and I tell you what, I can't fault any of their forward pack for mine, but the real standout for me I think has been Danny Murch. He's really lifted this team. He's gone looking for work, and for me to say that about a winger is a big play by him.
Well, yeah, well, I guess that's certainly given some selection headaches for Viv Passy and his team. As we mentioned, Bill Coffey waiting in the wings in second grade. But I think he'll have to spend at least another week there, given the performance of not only Dan Murch, but of Andrew Katoa as well. He's been outstanding as Cal McDonald prepares to come back on. And Danny Murch just given an early mark there as that goal was being taken. So, yep, good work for him. The Englishman who come to the club from Barraba.
Quick kick there by Merewether Carlton. Oh, and nearly taken by Sean Rich, but no. Now the Wanderers side on the counter-attack, and here they go. Rahui opens up, but he's going to be chased down there by the Merewether Carlton side. Sherwood now standing wide. Rush taking the ball forward, and he keeps going forward all day. He's had a ball of a game, hasn't he? Oh, and Tuala turned back on the inside. It's knocked back, says the referee. Kick downfield. And here he goes, Rongakia. It's going to be a foot race, Rongakia. He could get the ball back, but no, cleaned out nicely there by the Merewether Cut. No, he has come up with the ball, Rongakia.
They've just got to spin it left, Wanderers. They've just got to spin it left. They've got numbers out here. They've just got to get the ball wide as Keble takes it up.
Yeah, Keble takes out the Merewether Carlton side of court here, but they go up the middle again. It looks like they might have realigned here now, the Carlton side. Big long ball there taken, and here they go. Is Rahui on the outside? Can he get the ball away? No, he can't. He has squandered a try there, Jimmy.
Yeah, Tim Marsh, he had the men on the outside. He sort of looked at him. I think he was expecting Rahui to come on the inside. Instead, he didn't. They both got in each other's way, and he was taken into touch. But Des to find a penalty for Wanderers offside, he says. And I think you'll find here they'll
take the quick tap,
and away they go. As Ben Ham goes to ground with a cramp, he was hoping for a stoppage in play, but he gets up and gets to the breakdown.
So here they go now. One more chance, I feel, for the two Blues to send a message out to this greater NHRU competition that they are back in business. Here in this 2015 competition. And here we go. Merewether Carlton look to attack from their own line, and Crichton dancing gets through one, gets them out of trouble. Strawn calling for it now. He'll look to run it. He does. Ball in two hands. All calls back a Galupo on the inside and nearly trips over him. So Dan Garner taking the ball forward from mine. He's probably been the most solid of the Merewether Carlton forwards today.
Him and Billy Dunn. Billy Dunn's played his heart out. He's made a couple of big hits. He's been collected a couple of times with big hits himself.
And Strawn kicks the ball
And
over.
that's it, full time.
And the referee calls full time. I'll thank Jimmy Garner for joining the Bar TV crew again for round 6 of the Greater NHRU Match of the Round. Merewether Carlton against Wanderers. The Wanderers coming out victors 34 points to 7 here at number 2 Sports Ground. It's been a great day for rugby. We'll take a quick time now to thank our sponsors, the Greater, NIB, Viatech, Tui's, Tulloch, and of course the Newcastle Herald, who was co-streaming this matchup. Thanks everybody for tuning in to Bar TV Sports. Don't forget to follow the delayed broadcasts of the Greater NHRU, 7:30, 9:30, and of course the games tomorrow as well. Thanks everybody. I'll catch you next week. Tune in then.
At the Greater, we're always on your side. We've got this winning lineup of products and services ready to get you over the line. To kick goals for your finances, contact the Greater. Proudly supporting Newcastle and Hunter Rugby Union.
Sports organisations have made a pledge to tackle youth binge drinking.
Now when you're watching your favourite sports, like football,
Swimming, basketball,
Netball,
and athletics.
you'll see this logo.
it's all about coming together to have a positive influence on our drinking culture.
We're strong enough to say enough.
And you can be too.
Back your judgment.
Stand up for what you believe in.
Be the influence.
Here's your story, let's begin. The water's fine, come on, dive in. The future's here, it's right before your eyes. Step on your way, welcome to a brighter day. Don't you know it feels good to be alive? You could be bigger than life, bigger than the world, living out the hopes and dreams of every boy and every girl. You could fly higher than the sky, shine brighter than the stars. You could have all you ever wanted, shoot the moon and reach for Mars. You know you could.
Doc's Pharmacies were established in 1988. We've been serving the Novocastrian community for over 25 years. Doc's Mega is the only chemist in Newcastle open 16 hours a day. We open from 8 a.m. in the morning till midnight, 7 days a week.
We have 3 full pharmacists employed, plus we have 2 intern pharmacists. So there's always more than one pharmacist here to answer any questions that you may have.
We have over 16,000 lines in stock at any one time, so we have a huge range of products always available.
Within a 5-kilometre radius, we have a free delivery service.
We offer free personal health checks, prescription reminder services.
We do free blood pressure checks every day. We've got the widest range of stock, and anything we don't have, we can get for you the next day.
For more information on any of the services that we offer, our website or like us on Facebook. Doc's Mega Save Chemist is on the ground floor in Market Town Shopping Centre next to Woolworths.
Real guys, real sport. Bar TV.